Hello everyone, good evening. As we all know that the second wave of COVID-19 has spread rapidly and which calls for more to get inoculated with the vaccine. However, the rapid development of vaccine for COVID-19 has filled with misconceptions and misinformation. To help separate myths from facts, we have here with us Dr. Rakesh Rai from Second Medic, who is a senior consultant with more than 20 years of experience. So let us welcome Dr. Rai. And as we begin, I request everyone to please put their mic on mute and switch on camera if possible. And if you have any question further to what is addressed in the session, we will take them up at the end of the session. So welcome Dr. Rakesh. Good evening and thank you so much for joining in.
Good evening, everybody. The first thing is to make sure that you can hear me clearly. If you have any problem with the voice, please let us know. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, Dr. Rakesh, we can hear you clearly.
very good, very good.
Yeah.
So, I think we are going to discuss a very, very important topic in this
Yes.
pandemic, and that is useful for all of us. And once we have this kind of information, we are not only treating ourselves, but we are
Correct.
helping in control of pandemic. Okay, so
Exactly.
I am basically a hepatobiliary and transplant surgeon based out of Mumbai. I operate in multiple cities in Mumbai, other cities in India, as well as other cities abroad. We have a team of super specialist doctors in all the super specialties. So we handle from tele consultation to all complex surgeries. Let's start, Dhanasri, with the first question.
Yes, definitely. So the very first question which comes in the mind with the COVID-19 vaccine is how does COVID-19 vaccine work?
Ivan, come here. Okay, so
Yeah.
very good question. Now it has got two part. One
Hmm.
is the mechanism of a vaccine. We do not want to go into detail, but
Hmm.
overall the fundamental concept of any vaccine, whether it's a COVID or non-COVID vaccine, is that you introduce either the whole virus or part of the virus into the human body. And once the virus is in or part of the virus is in, the body itself will start fighting with the virus, forming antibodies. And this antibodies is going to give you long-term protection. Now,
Correct.
the mechanism of individual vaccine varies only in the technique. How are you going to introduce the virus? Now, if we see, we
Correct.
have two vaccines available at the moment. We have got
Correct.
Covishield and we have got Covaxin. One is Indian, one is foreign technology vaccine. Both of
Correct.
them, what they do basically, they introduce the protein which is on the virus surface by using two different technology. Once you get the vaccine inside, that means you get the virus COVID-19 protein inside your body, and your body will recognize it as a foreign object, and it will start forming antibodies, and these antibodies will last for some time, and that's how you get the protection.
Okay. Then, doctor, what are the typical symptoms to expect after the vaccination?
Okay, so there are two things. One thing is called sequelae of vaccination. That means most of the people after vaccination will have some symptom. Most of the
Oh.
people. So these are sequelae. These are not complications. These are
Hmm.
expected. So most common of them is fever. These may be low grade fever. Sometimes you can get fever up to 101 and 102. You may
Hmm.
have some local pain where vaccine was injected. Okay, and where lot of people will have also letharginess and weakness for 2 days. So fever and letharginess is going to happen with most of the people with vaccine, and this is a normal phenomenon. You should not think it as a complication. Plus the pain at the local site, but most of them will subside within 24 to 48 hours. If you have persistent problem after vaccination, then only you need to see a doctor.
Okay. And doctor, are these symptoms for a single dose or for both doses?
So this is for the both doses, and the
Hmm.
second dose when you will take, you will have more problem, you'll have more fever, more pain. Okay, even with
Okay.
the first dose you may have that, but expect it to happen slightly more after the second dose.
Okay. Then is it advisable to take pre-supplements before taking COVID vaccine to avoid
Ag-
fever or other
yes.
side effects?
Yeah, again, it's a very good question. Now, lot of people who are smart or they think they're smart, they take paracetamol and goes for vaccination. Okay, but
Correct.
that's not a good idea. Remember that. Never take any supplement to hide your symptom before vaccination. Okay, because indirectly in some way that decreases your immunity to the vaccine. What we want vaccine to come in and body to form an immunity. Okay, but
Okay.
that doesn't happen or that decreases. So take the vaccine. If you develop symptom, then take the supplement.
Okay. And then, doctor, is it normal for experiencing no side effects after taking
Yes,
vaccine?
yes. So certain people will not have any symptom at all, or will have very mild symptom, but that does not mean that that means vaccine is not effective in you. Okay,
Okay.
so you must know that there will be people who will have very minimal symptom, but that's okay. That's nothing to worry about. That you never had symptoms, so you that means vaccine is not effective.
Okay, that's great. Then, doctor, what would you suggest for inflammation on the arm after taking vaccine? So, whether should we go for the hot pad or cold pad to apply to soothe the
Yeah.
inflammation? Yeah.
So at the site of vaccination, most of the people will have merely very mild discomfort. So
Right.
you will not require anything. Just leave that alone. Don't rub it. Do not take anything for that. Most of the time it's very mild. But if
Right.
it's moderate to severe, then you have to have local treatment and you can take paracetamol for pain. For local treatment, do not massage. Now, out of hot pad and cold pad is always much better for this circumstances. To
Okay.
apply cold pad over the local area for inflammation to subside.
Okay. And should we get vaccine with an empty stomach?
Okay, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you have eaten anything or not, but
Hmm.
definitely do not go empty stomach. Because what happens
Okay.
after vaccination, many people will have this kind of vasovagal, they'll feel slight weakness, fainting, and especially if you're empty stomach, that will be another problem because you are already hypoglycemic. So eat your
Correct.
breakfast or lunch, just eat it light, okay, and go for
Okay.
vaccination.
Okay. And as you told at the beginning of the session that there are two brands of vaccines are available. That is, one is Covaxin and another one is a Covishield.
Yeah.
So which vaccine is better? Because the different brands of vaccine has a different composition and benefits. So which one
Yes.
is better?
So, when vaccine is launched in the market, they
Hmm.
undergo trial and they have a cutoff of efficiency. If they are not more than 50% effective, that vaccine will not be launched. Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
So when the first thing is that at the moment in India, you have two options, and most of
Hmm.
the time you will not have choice. You go to a center and that vaccine is available and you have to take it.
Okay.
Even if you have a choice, then
Hmm.
there is no difference. The technology may be different, but their effectiveness is almost same. So take whatever is easily available to you.
Okay. And then can I take, first dose of Covaxin and second dose of Covishield or vice versa? So, and take them at the different location. So, is it advisable?
So if you are taking the same vaccine, then you can
Hmm.
take it at different location. You can take Covishield in Burundi and you can take it again in Bandra, second dose.
Okay.
But you cannot mix and match the vaccines. So if you have taken Covishield, you have to take the Covishield again. Okay, because
Okay.
that is the government guidelines at the
Uh,
moment.
Sorry, doctor, to disturb you, but
Yeah.
I request everyone to please unmute yourself. Please mute yourself because it is disturbing a lot so that we can hear the doctor clearly. Please. Yes, doctor, you can
Yeah.
proceed.
So
Yeah.
do not mix match your vaccine. It's not allowed. It's a government directive that whatever vaccine was your first dose, you take the same vaccine as second dose.
Okay. And doctor, why both doses are important to administer?
So what happens? Our main aim is to boost our immunity, and one of the component of immunity is antibody formation. Okay, so once you
Hmm.
get the first dose, the body starts forming the antibody, and your immunity goes up to a level. So even
Okay.
with the first dose, you get certain protection. Okay.
Mhm.
But once you take so you have already some antibody formed. As soon as you take the second dose, these antibody starts multiplying in numbers. So
Okay.
second dose will suddenly increase your immunity to completely different level. And that's why for a complete protection, you need to take a second dose.
Okay. And then can we get infected of COVID-19 after getting COVID vaccine?
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. So any vaccine, in the history of vaccination, there is
Hmm.
nothing is 100% foolproof that you will not get anything. So there is no guarantee. But what happens, these vaccines are very effective in the sense that chances of getting COVID infection decreases. But more important than that is that after your complete vaccination, even if you get a COVID infection, the severity is much less. And the risk
Correct.
of dying from COVID infection decreases very, very significantly. And that is the biggest advantage. So imagine if you compare 100 people who have not been vaccinated, and all of them got COVID infection,
Hmm.
and 100 people who all are vaccinated, they got COVID, 100 got COVID infection. The difference will be that non-vaccinated COVID population, if they have 10% mortality, then vaccinated will have 0.5% mortality. So
That's right.
that is the huge advantage which you need to understand.
Hmm. Correct. Yeah. And then, doctor, can I get vaccinated against COVID-19 while currently I'm sick with COVID-19?
Yes, so no. So what you need to remember, if you have active COVID-19 infection, means infection is going on, you have symptoms of infection, then at that time you should not take the vaccine. Okay.
Okay.
But once you recover, you must take the vaccine. You cannot just rely because I had a COVID-19 infection, so now I am immune and I will not get any COVID infection. That's not true. That's why after your recovery, you should take the COVID vaccine.
Okay. Then, in case I get COVID-19 post getting first dose, so do
Yes.
I need to take the second dose?
Exactly. So what happens? You have already taken first dose, but now you got infected. And now the infection lasted for 15 days, 1 month. You missed your second dose, okay, because you are already infected. So what should we do with the next dose?
Um,
You have to take the next dose, okay? So again, as I said, you recover completely from your infection, and whenever you recover, you take the second dose, but do not miss the second dose.
okay. But what would be the duration to take the second dose then after
Yeah.
getting,
So
you know,
so
yeah.
so so the standard advice is that when you recover from your COVID infection, recovery in the sense when you become completely normal, you have no fever, you have no breathlessness, you start working, you're full of energy like before, then is the time to take the vaccine, which may happen after 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks of infection. So
Okay.
don't rush for the second dose. Let yourself recover completely. Okay, which may take 2 weeks or 4 weeks, doesn't matter. Okay, and then take the second dose of vaccine. But when you are
Oh,
feeling little bit of unwell, do not take second dose.
okay. And what if second dose gets delayed as per the actual timeline due to some other reason? So do I need to do any test before that and then took second vaccine, or
No,
again I need to take the fresh vaccine, the first one?
no. So, like for the Covaxin, we have 1 month
Okay.
timeline,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
Covishield, we have got around 6 weeks to 8 weeks timeline for the second
Hmm.
dose. These are approximate timelines. Okay. So, imagine you had to take your Covaxin after 4 weeks and you couldn't take it. Now it's 6 weeks. That does not mean that you cannot take the second dose. Okay. So, if you delay with few weeks, the vaccine will still be very, very effective. Okay, so you do
Okay.
not have to go back with the first dose, you take the second dose. But imagine some person has taken the first dose and he did not take it for months.
Okay. Hmm.
He's considering after 6 months, then
Hmm.
probably he will have to be revaccinated.
Okay. So do we need to do any test, to take the first dose of vaccine?
No, no, you don't need to do any test for first dose of
Okay.
vaccine. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And if I have already had a COVID-19 and I get recovered, and then do still I need to take the vaccine?
Yeah. So as we discussed, even
Hmm,
after recovery from COVID infection, you
hmm,
have to take the vaccine because COVID infection
hmm.
gives you protection for a very short
Right,
time. Okay.
right.
So imagine you recovered today after COVID infection. You may not get a repeat COVID in 4 weeks, 6 weeks. But after that, the risk will increase.
వ్యాక్సిన్
So
గురించి
that's why,
రిజిస్టర్ చేద్దాం.
in spite of COVID, you will need to get
చేసినావా?
vaccinated.
ఇప్పుడు చాలా అయింది.
Okay. Okay. I request everyone to please mute yourself because it
అదే
is
అదే
disturbing a lot.
రిజిస్టర్ చేసుకోవాలా డాడీ?
Guys, please notice your mics and mute yourself. Otherwise, no one will take the advantage of this session.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So the second question is, doctor, is it safe to take COVID vaccine if a person has an underlying condition?
See, COVID vaccine is safe for almost everybody. Almost everybody.
Hmm,
Now, if you have certain specific condition
hmm.
and you are worried, then you need to contact the doctor. Okay. But
Okay.
in general, COVID vaccine is safe for almost everybody, whether you have hypertension or diabetes or heart disease, does not matter. But if you have
Oh,
a specific question that I have got this and I am feeling this, then that specific question will be addressed by your doctor. But overall, it's very safe for everybody.
okay. And how long does the protection from both doses of COVID-19 vaccine last?
Okay. So as you understand, the vaccine is only few months old.
Yeah.
The vaccine which is in US, Pfizer and Moderna, they are maybe 1 year old, and our vaccine, which is the Covaxin, is only few months old.
Hmm.
So we do not know, what's going to happen in the future. You cannot do any research to find out how long it's going to last. Okay, but
Hmm.
for AstraZeneca, which is Covishield, now it's more than 6 months, and we have the data that people who were vaccinated 6 months ago, they still have antibodies. So we can say that it is at least effective till 6 months. Now, as the
Okay.
time goes by, we will know, we will have more and more data.
Okay. And can COVID-19 vaccine generate antibodies and give immunity against the other viruses?
No, so these vaccines are always very specific. As I told you, the
Hmm,
mechanism is
hmm.
to send the protein which is present on COVID-19. That protein is unique to COVID-19. It's not present in any other virus. So that's why the body forms the antibody only against that protein. So it will not give protection to any other virus, only for COVID-19.
Okay. And does vaccine gives you complete immunity so that we don't need to wear the mask or do not need to follow the social distancing after taking COVID vaccine?
No. So as I said, COVID vaccine, once you have taken, it decreases your chance of developing severe infection. But
Correct.
still virus can enter you. Still you can have mild infection. Still you can have moderate infection. Okay. So it does not matter in your change in behavior after you have taken the COVID vaccine. You need to protect yourself and others in the same way. Exactly the same rule apply. With the mask, with the distancing, with the hand cleaning, nothing changes after COVID vaccine. You need to understand that, and everybody needs to understand that. Then they ask, what is the advantage then COVID vaccine? The biggest advantage, you're not going to die, or your chances of death is much less. That is the big advantage.
Right. Okay. And is natural immunity is better than vaccine acquired immunity? And will
Yes,
it
so what
weaken the
happens? Yeah.
immunity system? Yeah.
No. So what happens, once you get the COVID infection, the body develops a natural antibody against that. And that's how it fights COVID. And that's how you come out of COVID, because you develop the antibody which is body is producing. The unfortunate part of it is that body produces enough antibody to fight that attack of the virus. Most of the time it does not produce good enough vaccine so that it's going to last for years in most of the infection, like in COVID infection. That's why you need the vaccine. The vaccine provides immunity which lasts much longer than the infection. That's the difference, you understand? And
Okay.
and the vaccine does not decreases your immunity. It's producing antibody, so it increases your immunity.
Mhm. Okay. And is COVID-19 vaccine is safe for pregnant ladies?
Yes, so that is a very important question,
Hmm.
and that guideline varies from different countries to different countries, okay, and
Hmm.
different time interval as well. Like when the vaccination started last year in other countries, the guideline was that pregnant ladies should not take it. But now, after months of experience with vaccination, people realized, especially in US, they had a lot of data collection that a lot of pregnant women they took it, the vaccine, and they are perfectly fine. So now the US guidelines is actually pregnant lady must take the vaccine, because if you get COVID infection while you are pregnant, it's a serious problem. So advantage of vaccination is much more than advantage of not taking the vaccine. In that case, risk is high. But
Okay.
in India, we have new vaccine. The Covaxin is Indian vaccine, which is a new vaccine. So at the moment, in India, we do not have data, and the Indian government guidelines at the moment is that if you are pregnant, then you have to be very careful.
Right.
Okay, but as I said, worldwide data which is coming in is that vaccine is safe, and not only safe, it's really protective for pregnant women.
Okay. And also, is it safe for heart, thyroid, and diabetic patients to get
Yes, yes,
vaccinated?
yeah. They can take
Okay.
vaccine.
Okay. So, if reactive protein level is high, then is it advisable to take COVID vaccine?
So, C-reactive protein is basically tells you that some inflammation is going on inside your body. Okay. So
Okay.
many patient who will have high CRP, they will have some symptom. They will may have mild fever, letharginess, weakness. And as I said, you can only take the vaccine when you are completely fine, no symptom, full of energy, like
Okay.
normal. Okay.
Hmm.
So if your CRP value is high, you should not take the vaccine at that time. Let it settle down, then take the vaccine.
Okay. And doctor, what should we eat before and after COVID vaccine? And like, we need to follow any diet
No,
for it?
so
Yeah.
vaccine has nothing to do with any diet. So you can
Hmm.
eat before or afterwards, whatever you want.
Okay. Okay, so as we know that right now COVID vaccine is not available for the kids, and it will get available for about 18 years old people from 1st May. So what vitamins and diet should we give kids to boost their immunity against COVID?
So see, there is no short-term trick to boost the
Hmm.
immunity. The
Hmm.
most important thing is for the kids or anyone, any person,
Hmm.
that you should always have good nutritious diet, you know,
Okay.
and if you have been tested and you have a certain vitamin deficiency, then you need to take that vitamin. Like in India, out of 100 people, 90 people have vitamin D deficiency. Okay,
Okay.
everybody has got vitamin D deficiency. So I think it's a good idea that either you get checked for vitamin D or you start taking vitamin D supplementation. But otherwise, it's not that giving zinc or this and that will suddenly increase your immunity. So main thing to build your immunity is to eat healthy, exercise, take free air, and that's the most important thing.
Okay. So is steam inhalation important for kids, and how much it is safe for them?
No, so steam inhalation has got no role in COVID virus infection. So neither it
Okay.
protects you from infection, nor it treats your infection. Okay.
Okay.
So steam inhalation, if you take it only, it might help you only in soothing your throat. You might feel slightly better, like we do for any cold and cough. That is the only role. So be careful, because now there is a madness in the whole country that everybody is taking steam, and out of that 10% are getting burnt. Okay, so you have to be very careful and need to understand these things are okay, these things are but just for symptomatic relief. Don't go completely crazy and start giving steam inhalation to kids.
Okay. Okay. So, yes, as these were all the questions, so now we'll take the questions from the audience here. So, I will request everyone to please unmute yourself and please come on camera and feel free to ask question to doctor.
Good evening, doctor.
Good
Sri
evening.
Shayar here.
Hi, Sri.
So right now, recently, they're going to start vaccinating everyone from 18 plus onwards. So actually, I've actually discussed with a few of the doctors whom I know,
Yeah.
and they actually say that it's good maybe if you have an RT-PCR test before you take your vaccine. So is that necessary?
No, no, no. So why they said there is a logic? Because of the pandemic, incidence of COVID infection has increased too much, and lot of people, whole family is getting infected. And some of the family member, like, I get infected with obvious symptom, and none of my family members have got other symptom, but they may having asymptomatic
Yeah.
infection. So that's why that suggestion comes from. But basically, if the family member are completely asymptomatic, they are fine, they have got no symptom at all, you do not need to do a RT-PCR. Okay,
Okay.
because whether it's negative and positive, as I said, even if you have a COVID infection, you need the vaccine. Only thing is timing change. So it's not a recommended idea that everybody needs to get a RT-PCR. If there is any doubt or there is any symptom, then you should get that test.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes, Ashish sir, please unmute yourself and
No,
ask the question. Yeah.
yeah. I want to ask a question. Hello, doctor. I'm Ashish from INC. Just want to
Hi,
ask
Ashish.
you, after the first
Yeah.
dose and after the second dose, is any, you can say, any special precaution has to be taken in eating and drinking?
No,
When,
no. So once you have, whether you have taken only one dose or both the doses, you are fine. You do not need to take any special precaution as far as diet is concerned. You can go back to your normal diet.
No, 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 sir.
okay. Also, one more question. That means
Yeah.
after the first and the second dose, how much gap we have to keep, you can say, for the blood donation if anyone is needed in case of emergency or anything after the
Okay.
vaccination?
So there are two things. One thing is the plasma donation. One thing is the blood donation. So
Yeah.
after any vaccination, you have to wait for just for few days so that you become completely asymptomatic. Okay, like you might have mild body ache, pain, fever, this and that. So once you are asymptomatic, there is no problem in giving blood donation
Okay.
because vaccine has
And
nothing to do with your virus. Yeah.
yeah, and if you are drinking any kind of alcohol after first or second dose, it is going to affect the antibodies,
No,
or
alcohol
is
is not going to, no, alcohol is not going to affect your antibodies, but alcohol is going to affect the liver and you'll have to come to me for liver transplant. You understand?
okay? Thanks, thanks, thank you very much, thank you
No
very
problem,
much.
no problem.
I have one
Okay.
question, doctor.
Yeah, please.
After second dose, how long the antibodies will be there in our body?
So this is a question of future. As you know, we have got only months of experience with this, with these vaccine. Okay, so nobody has seen, and unless you have monitored the patient for years, you will not know. There is no way to predict that we have got a antibody, how long that going to last. So far we have experience of 6 to 7 months, and we know that especially with the American vaccine and AstraZeneca, that people who were vaccinated 6 months ago, they still have protective antibody. So at the moment we only know for 6 months, but as the time goes by, we will have more data. So there is no future prediction that how long this is going to last.
Okay.
Hello.
Anand sir, yeah.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, good evening, doctor.
Good evening.
Few days back, my mother went for vaccination. That was first dose.
Yeah.
So after 5 days, she was having high BP.
Yeah.
So she was not having any history of diabetes or high BP.
Okay.
So that was it because of vaccination or the,
So there may be two things which may happen. Sometimes what happens that you have a BP problem which has never been diagnosed because it has not been measured.
yeah.
So then suddenly what happens one day that you get it measured, because you had some treatment like vaccination and you found high BP. So that means it's nothing to do with vaccination. One possibility. The second possibility is after vaccination, your body develops a kind of response to that vaccine. That's why you develop, mild pain, weakness, and fever. And
Yes.
this can also increase your blood pressure. But this raise in blood pressure will be transient. May last for a
Okay.
few days to weeks, and it will settle down.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Thank you, doctor.
No problem.
Hello, doctor.
Hello.
So my question regarding the mother of child. Suppose
Yeah.
child is 1 month, so it will affect on the child due to the getting vaccine to the mother.
No. So if the mother is breastfeeding, there is no problem with the vaccine, because even there are antibodies which forms and they get transmitted in the milk, and they actually provide immunity to the child. So pregnancy and especially the breastfeeding mothers, they are not a contraindication to take the vaccine. They can take the vaccine, and it's not going to affect your child in any way, in the negative.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello,
doctor. Good evening.
Hello. Yeah. Good evening.
My question is, do you get vulnerable to the disease once immediately when you take the vaccine? Because like the antibodies are injected into your body, and somehow your body takes time to react to those antibodies, considering them as a foreign material.
Yes. No, so means you want to know that immediately after vaccination, whether you have increased chance of getting COVID. That's your question.
Kind of. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
No. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The only thing is that immediately after vaccination, it does not give you any protection. You understand? It will not protect you because it takes time to form antibody, which takes around 2 to 3 weeks time. But that means you do not have any protection. That does not mean that you have increased risk. You understand?
Yes, right.
Yes.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, doctor.
Good evening.
Ritesh here. I wanted to ask you, if I go for a vaccination
Yes.
and I am not infected till I go for the vaccination,
Yes.
but
Yes.
I get infected during the vaccination drive.
Okay.
In the
Yeah.
drive, and I take my vaccination,
Yes.
whether and I am being infected also at the same
Yes.
time
Yes.
in that area. So
Exactly.
whether that antibody will be created with the first dose,
Yeah. So
even if I'm infected.
yes. So it's now a problem because our vaccination drives are so crowded. Many people are getting infected while going for vaccination. You understand? So what happens that you got the vaccine as well as you got the virus inside your body. Now both are running parallel. So your vaccine is also going to form some antibody, and this virus is also going to form some antibody. So the vaccine will not protect you because the protection start after 15, 16 days, of the vaccination. But otherwise, it's not going to affect you in any negative way because you had infection at the time of vaccination.
But we don't need to get revaccinated, right?
No, you have to.
Means the second dose, that will be the
Yes.
second dose I have to take, not the
So
first dose again, right?
exactly. So you had your first dose, so you will go for your second dose. You do not need first dose. First dose you already had.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Hello.
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 Hello, doctor.
Hello, please.
Doctor, hello.
Hello.
Uh, so if I've taken a vaccine and you and my friend also taken a vaccine from office,
Yeah.
can we survive together? If need to wear a mask for it?
Yes. So so vaccine, whether you have taken only one dose or two dose, does
Yes.
not protect you from getting virus inside your body. So as I said, even after complete vaccination of two dose, you need to take all the precautions like keeping the distance, full masking, all those things will go on. It doesn't matter whether you are vaccinated or not vaccinated. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Sachin
Good
here.
evening, Sachin.
Sir, just one question. Among the three, Covaxin, Covishield, and Pfizer, which one
Yeah.
is the best? And shall we wait for the Pfizer?
No, it's not worth waiting at the moment for anything. The risk is so high at the moment in India. that the first priority is to get the vaccine as soon as possible. And that is also becoming a problem. You know, I'm getting call from VVIPs looking for vaccine and there is no vaccine. So do not wait for anything. The first vaccine you find, whether it's Covishield or Covaxin, just take it. Don't wait.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Hello, doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name. Yeah, hi.
Hello.
My name is Vikram. My father is having clot in blood. 5 6 years back. He got some like a mild paralysis attack, and now he got corona also in last week. Now he is fearing that whether he should have vaccine or not.
How old is he?
He is 67-year-old.
Okay.
68.
Is he on any blood thinner for that clots which he developed?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
He's on blood.
Taking.
Okay. So see, here you have to balance the risk and benefit. You know, the risk of producing blood clot because of a vaccine is there, but it's very, very minimal. As now you must have read, there were episode of thrombosis in certain European countries. They had stopped the Covishield vaccine, and finally, after research, they have reintroduced it. Okay, so you have to understand that risk, and then it's a personal decision. Okay, and discuss with your doctor as well. But what you have to decide, you do not take a vaccine and you get the disease, then what will be the consequence? Other hand, you take the vaccine and then there is risk of thrombosis, which is very, very small, 1 in a million. So what is the more risk for you? That's how you calculate. So there is no absolute guidelines on these things. You have to assess personally those risks, discuss with your doctor who is looking after his thrombotic A, and then decide. Because what doctor is going to do, he will look at what is your risk of thrombosis. If you are at a very high risk, then he may say do not take the vaccine. But if you say, okay, you had thrombosis, but at the moment you are not very high risk, more risk of developing corona than thrombosis, then you take the vaccine.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, doctor.
No problem. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have two questions.
Yes.
One is double mask recommendation is good, or will it have adverse effect on our body?
So in present situation in India, I advise either a double mask or a single N95 mask. So if you are not using N95 mask, you are using a ordinary cloth mask, then double mask is almost a must, because that is the one of the reason why India is having so many infections, because most of the people have two problems. First, they are wearing mask which they have bought from a sabji wala. Today's sabji wala is also selling masks, so you can understand the quality of those masks. And the second problem is they are not wearing it properly. Okay.
Yeah.
So in masking, you need to keep two things in mind. One thing is the quality of mask, and the second thing is the technique of wearing the mask. So as I said, if you are wearing a cloth mask, then please better wear a double mask. Okay. If you are wearing N95, then you do not need double mask.
Okay. Doctor, my second question is that is COVID wave is very dangerous, spreading through air. It is correct? What is the prevention is to be taken?
No, so this is correct that COVID spreads in 2 3 ways. One is the droplet, one is the air, which is aerosol, and it also can spread through your stools. Okay. So the most common way is droplet and aerosol. So the only way to protect yourself is proper masking. Okay, so if you have a good quality mask and a proper seal with the mask, the virus will come to you, but your nose is closed, your mouth is closed, virus is not going to go anywhere. You understand?
Yes.
So that's why the masking is the best technique. Now coming to the second way to prevent yourself, especially people who are working in offices, and these days all these offices are almost closed compartment with AC on. There is no airflow, which is dangerous. The best place is in a room where there is all the windows and the glass doors are open and there is a cross ventilation, because then what happens, if I am infected and I cough, immediately the particles of viruses float through, out of the window. Imagine the window is closed, I cough, the virus remains there hanging for a long time. So even if I leave the room and somebody enters, the virus is there in that room. And that's how people get infected. So keep this thing in mind, that always a open ventilated area is much better than a closed room. Okay?
Yes. Thank you, doctor.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yeah.
If someone has tested positive, so after how many days of testing negative can they take the vaccine?
Okay. So first thing is, if you have tested positive, the question is, when do you come out of the disease, which varies. Some people will be completely asymptomatic in 7 days, and some people may take weeks to months to come out of the COVID infection. So the vaccine you need to take only once you have completely recovered with. And once you have completely recovered, definition of complete recovery is that you have no symptom or sign and you are feeling as good as without having had any infection in the past. And that is the right point to go for vaccination. You understand? So it will vary from person to person. So let yourself get completely recovered from infection, and then you can go for vaccination, which may vary from weeks to months.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Please.
Yes, sir. Can we take vaccination during periods? Or
Yes. So vaccination you can take any in time in your monthly cycle. It has nothing to do with your monthly cycle.
okay. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
My question is, if a person has recovered from, just adding to the later question,
Yeah.
previous question,
Yes.
if the person has recovered and it's almost like after the first symptom, it's been like 15-20 days, and then like how long we should wait to take the vaccination again?
So imagine, you are post 15 days from your first symptom. You have stopped all, you have no symptom at all. You are feeling completely healthy, like you never had any infection. Then wait
Okay.
for two more weeks and take the vaccine.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Hello, doctor.
Hello.
I'm Harshil. Yeah, actually, my family member is having a sulfur drug allergy. So, is it advisable to take vaccine?
Yes. So this is the
irritation in skin is happening. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a very important question, because there is only one contraindication where vaccine is contraindicated: if you have allergy because of anything, and especially if you have severe allergy. Okay, so somebody if had a severe allergy because of any medication or any food item, then you have to be very careful. But I think if he had a sulfa allergy and he only gets little bit of itching, then it's okay, then it's safe. But if he had a severe allergic reaction because of any drug, then probably vaccine is a risk.
Thank you, doctor. And also, like, which vaccine is better, like Covishield or Covaxin?
So as I discussed earlier, you should not choose the vaccine. There is no question of better and worse vaccine, because what happens, all the vaccines are given permission only after they pass the test. Okay, and after the test, the effectiveness varies just with certain percentage, which has got
Doctor, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
so so the vaccine, you should not try to choose which is better or worse. All the vaccines are as good as other vaccine. So you should choose the vaccine which is easily available, locally available, then go for that. There is no difference in efficacy.
Doctor, you mentioned regarding allergies. So there is a sulfa allergy, so that person should not take the vaccine, or
No, as I
sulfa?
said, it depends upon the severity of allergy. As you know, that some people have got allergy that if they take sulfa drug and they develop little bit of itching, which subside
Yeah.
for after 2 hours. And some people take sulfa allergy and they need oxygen, they collapse. That is
Okay.
called severe allergy. So if you have severe allergy, then you should not. If it's just a mild allergy, you can take it.
Okay, so mild allergy comes like rashes on
Yeah,
skin or something. So
yeah,
that is
just so the rashes also, you can have severe rashes. The whole body is covered with rashes, and you are red. This is a severe allergic reaction. Sometimes you have just few rashes here and there, and which is going to subside in 2 hours. That is a mild allergic reaction.
okay, because I have sulfur allergy where I develop rashes on my lips whenever I get sulfur drugs.
So how many times it has happened?
So because now when I came to know that I have sulfur allergies, I used to talk with doctor whenever they used to give me medicines that don't give medicines which have sulfur in them.
Yes.
So before that, I used to develop rashes on my lips. So only on
So
lips, on that too on one side.
and that was really your lips got severely swollen, or just a little bit of
Somewhat swollen, like, and it becomes reddish or blackish. And I think it remains for 1 or 2 days.
1 or 2 days. Okay, then probably it's not that severe. Then what we do, we keep things ready to prevent you from developing severe allergy reaction. Okay. So then what you need to understand that this decision will not be taken by anybody. Your doctor will not going to tell you that you take this vaccine or do not take the vaccine. Okay. Now you are at a borderline, so you need to understand the risk and benefit. So if you will think, I am going to protect myself, I am in this location, my chances of getting COVID is very less, I am working from home, whatever, then you should not take that at the moment. Okay. But so that is you have to assess the risk that no, everybody is surrounded with infection is happening in my building, I am very high risk of infection. Then, and I have got other comorbidity, if I get infected, I might have severe problem. Then you take the calculated risk of taking the vaccine with other precautions.
Okay. So if rashes, so because of sulfur, if anything happen, but we can have the counter medicines for that, right?
Yes. There are medicines which can help you in preventing the allergy.
Okay. Thank you.
Doctor, in the same line, it is like advisable to take Avil after the vaccination.
Yeah. If you develop allergy,
Yeah.
you should not take it. You should not take any drug before vaccination or after vaccination unless you need it. If you need something, if you have fever, then you take. If you need paracetamol, you take paracetamol. Similarly for pain, but do not take it anything unless you need it.
Thank you.
Doctor, I have one question related to the steam. Taking steam every day is really a useful in case of COVID?
No, it has got no use at all in COVID infection. Whether you take a steam before infection or after infection, it doesn't protect you from COVID. So only use of steam may be that sometime if you have blocked nose, congested nose, sore throat, so you feel slightly better. Okay. So do not go behind steam taking 3 times, 4 times. People have started giving to steam to children to protect them. All this will lead to too much danger. And I'm seeing burn patients now who are taking steam for COVID. So remember that. Okay. Steam doesn't have much role to play in COVID.
Okay.
Good evening, doctor.
Doctor. Good evening.
Good evening. So I'm having one question. My
Please.
parents had taken this first shot of vaccine. They don't know whether it is Covaxin or Covishield. So if on second shot, if they taken another company's shot, is it okay?
No. So the government guideline at the moment in India is you cannot mix and match the vaccine. So you need to take the same vaccine which you have taken earlier. So usually they will have the cards, because after vaccination you will get a card where it's written when and what vaccine you have taken. The other way is that you have to give your identification at the time of vaccination, either Aadhaar or PAN card. So when you go to the center, they will find out which vaccine you have taken.
Okay. Thanks, doctor.
No problem.
No, in this, doctor, one more thing in case. If you already taken a vaccine, you will get a certificate. If you go and put your Aadhaar card, and you will get a certificate. In that, you may have a mentioned name. Yeah. For the vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah, good evening, doctor.
I
Good
have a
evening.
question.
Yes.
Yeah, so my father has went through angioplasty in past. So
Yes.
he's under that medication right now. Like he takes those routine medicines what he was
Yeah.
prescribed.
Yeah.
So and he's 60 years of age. So
Yes.
can we vaccinate him?
Yes. Yes. He must get vaccinated.
Okay, like we were consulting doctor and he was of the opinion that since he takes medicines which is like to thin his blood, so if you
Yes.
take that COVID vaccine, it is little bit in like danger. You need to think on it once.
Not at all. Not at all. Not.
Okay, so he
So
can.
that was the concept. Still, some people believe that there is nothing to do with blood thinning. So you should take the vaccine, because if a cardiac patient develops COVID infection, it's much more serious issue. Okay. So getting the vaccine is much safer than getting the infection. Okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Hello, doctor. I have a question. For a patient having asthma and sinus issues, is it safe to take vaccine?
Yes. Yes. You must take it, because again, with the asthma, if COVID happens, it's too deadly. Okay. So you must take the vaccine.
Yeah, thank you.
So, good evening, Doctor.
Yeah,
Deepak here.
Yeah.
Hello. So, I just have one question. Like, suppose if we are taking 2 shots of Covishield now, right? And after some point of time, say like 8 months, after 8 months or 12 months,
Hmm.
if we are not sure whether that Covishield was really effective, can we go for another company's vaccine, like say Sputnik or maybe Moderna after some point of time? Will it
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
effective,
So
or like
yes.
it will be dangerous? Yeah.
No, no, no. So what will happen after, after 8-10 months, we don't know what's going to happen. But after that time, the first thing, the question will be whether even the effective vaccines, whether they have the antibody which lasts so long or not. That is not clear. And there is no way to find that out, because it's future. So at that time, people, there will be process to find out your antibody level, suitable antibody level. And if there is no antibody at all, you have no protection, then you can get, because you are revaccinating yourself, you can choose whatever, new vaccine. No problem. It
Okay.
will not be dangerous.
Thank you.
So I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Can a G6P deficiency person can have a vaccination?
Yes, yes. So G6PD has problem with certain specific medications, not with vaccination.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Because during
good evening,
malaria, we can't have those medicine.
Yeah. So as I said, there are certain medicines, including chloroquine, which is given for malaria, and primaquine. They have problem. They cause hemolysis in G6PD deficiency. So there is a list of medications which causes problem in patients with G6PD, but not the vaccination.
Okay. Thank you.
Doctor.
hello, doctor.
Yeah, please.
My parents are getting infection after the first dosage. I know we admitted in the hospital. They discharged last week. Now they are in the home quarantine for next 14 days. So their second dosage due date comes on the May 15th. So should I go for the vaccination, or should I wait for some more time?
No. So let them recover completely. Okay. Let them recover completely. As I said, complete recovery means they are asymptomatic. They have the same strength and energy which they had before the infection. Okay. So when they have completely normalized, wait for 2 more weeks and take the vaccine.
Okay, doctor. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. No problem.
Good evening, doctor.
Good evening.
The vaccines which are available in India, are these effective against the new strain of COVID-19, what we are hearing nowadays?
Yes. So we have got a variant with 2 mutations at the moment in India. And so far, especially AstraZeneca vaccine, which is going on for few, at least probably more than 8-9 months, because UK and Europe are getting vaccinated. So there is a data that both the mutant are covered very well with AstraZeneca vaccine. Okay. So we expect that the variants which we have at the moment, they are not escaping the present day vaccine, and that's why it's very, very important to take the vaccine. But there is a huge possibility, great possibility in the future that a new variant will come, which may not be, where the vaccine may not be effective, and then you'll have to take a new vaccine, which will be launched at that time. But at the moment, you must get vaccinated. Present strain is,
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Doctor,
if a particular person is under any medication for any antibiotic or painkillers, whether it is advisable to take the vaccine or should the entire medication get over and then it
No,
should be
so
taken?
there are two kinds of medication. There are medication which are very long, lifelong medication, like for blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, this and that. Okay, so then there is no problem. You can take the vaccine. Now, if a person is taking which has started taking medication for some acute disease, the disease he has developed just now. So you have developed typhoid, malaria, whatever, you have problem going on, then you should not take the vaccine. Okay, so it's nothing to do with medication, it's to do with your condition. If you are having an acute disease, you should not take the vaccine. But if you have a chronic disease, which is going on for years, diabetes, hypertension, you can take them.
So if means this is a question because my mother has underwent a surgery for her knee. It is so she is recovering now, but her medication is going on. So whether it will be advisable for her to take the vaccination?
Yeah. So it's not with the medication. You need to find out from your orthopedic surgeon that whether she has completely recovered. There should not be any sign of inflammation. She should be comfortable. Pain has gone. She has got no fever. Things like that. Then there is no problem. Take medicine.
Okay.
So sometimes the doctor may do certain tests to find out whether she is fine from inside. There are certain reflections in the blood. He will look into that and then decide whether she is good for vaccination.
All right.
Doctor, I have a query. So, if a 30-year-old woman has severe rheumatology condition, so how vaccine will be advisable? How much?
Yeah. Vaccine you can take. So it's nothing to do with with your rheumatological problem. Rheumatological problem is a autoimmune problem.
Yeah.
Okay, but vaccine does not affect it in any way, so you can take it.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
No problem.
Good evening, doctor.
Good evening.
Yeah, like shivering is common after vaccine. Like my mother had was shivering after vaccine dose, one dose.
Yes.
So you said after second dose the effect will be more this kind of. So do suggest about that.
So, most of the time after second dose, the symptoms may be more than the first dose. It's not always 100% true, but it can happen. So, post-vaccination for fever and shivering, the drug is paracetamol. Okay. So, you take paracetamol 2 or 3 days and slowly it will go away. So, it's not a major problem.
Okay. And some are advising taking methylene blue and betadine gargle. So what do you suggest
No.
about that?
That has got no
Even
no.
without infection.
No point. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, my name is Shivam. I just wanted to ask what are your thoughts about recently our health minister came with a report that so many people got vaccinated and so many people X and Y numbers have got after vaccinated they got the symptoms of COVID. So what happened wrong that so many people got again that symptoms after getting second dose of vaccinations?
So we know that vaccination is not going to prevent you from getting COVID infection. Okay. So there are two things which you need to understand is the possibility of getting infection will be less. So imagine if you're not vaccinated, then you have got a 50% possibility of getting infected. If you're vaccinated, you've got a 5% possibility. So first thing. So people always, there will be people who will get infection, but the biggest advantage is that after vaccination, if you see the mortality data, the people are, there are very, very rare cases where people have taken 2 vaccinations, they have died. You understand? So that is the biggest advantage, that once you have fully vaccinated, your chance of developing severe COVID and dying is much less. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And I would also thank you that there are so many negative news about vaccination coming out that I also referred one doctor with this point that whether I should get it vaccinated or not. So he was completely saying in his actual words that अरे मैं नहीं लिया तू लेके क्या करेगा तू तो घर पे बैठेगा. So that listening to your points, that has given us some positive points. So thank you for that.
I will tell you one thing. Everybody, you must if you are not into sort of hardcore healthcare, then you must listen to this, which is my opinion. First thing is, anything, any information which you get from WhatsApp and newspapers and news channels, you do not listen to that. Anything, whether it's in Times of India or whether somebody is talking in health channels or whether you have WhatsApp. No. The only way, if you want to get a true information, then you have to go to the experts. Not all the doctors. Every doctor has got a different field. Okay. So go to the expert. But even in the news media and respected newspaper, most of the information is false. Because what happens, I say, when I give interview in the newspaper, next day I get ashamed of myself reading what they have written. So if I say he, they will write she. So do not rely on any information from these medias, and that is the biggest problem, unfortunately, in India, that so many myths are circulating, so many guidelines are circulating. Even the government guidelines are so poorly framed. Better you contact an individual expert, discuss with him.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, doctor.
Yeah.
So, what about the plasma donation? I heard of the word. I just want to concept of this.
Yeah. So the basically what plasma donation is, that if you develop COVID infection and you have recovered, that means your body had fought against the COVID virus. How does it fight against COVID virus? Your body produced something what is called antibody, which is present in your blood. Okay. So now you have got antibodies which have defeated the virus. Now what is going to happen with these antibodies? So let's take those antibodies from your blood and give it to somebody who is fighting with the virus. Okay, that is the concept of plasma donation. That people who have recovered from the COVID infection, they have this antibodies. Let's take their antibody and give it to people who need that, who are fighting. Okay, so concept is very good theoretically, but the problem is how much antibody you have, how much antibody that person needs, what are the complications. I'm going to give your antibody to him, that antibody really does it work or not, in which patient that thing works. So it's a very complicated science. Okay, so in a very selected group of patients, plasma donation may play a role, but that is a very small fraction of patients. In majority of the patient, plasma therapy has got no role.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, doctor.
No problem.
Yes. So based on the session timelines, we will now close the session. And if you all have more questions, then please drop it in the chat box here. We will get you the answers later. And thank you so much, doctor, for your valuable time and valuable inputs. We hope it will be helpful for all of us. And thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of the session, and wish you all a good evening ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, doctor.
Thank you,
Thank
doctor.
you,
doctor. It was very nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for your patience and your time. Be
Thank you.
safe.
Nice session.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, Acharya.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.